What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. This is Michael here, and today we're going to be talking the halfway point waiver wire pickups this week, looking at quarterbacks, running backs, all across the board. This particular video, we're talking about the streaming quarterback options. If you're in need of a streamer this week, don't have a solid option, or don't like the matchup for the guy that you currently have in there. You have Kyler Murray on bye week this week. Couple good names out there, probably on your waiver wires. Pretty low ownership on all four of these guys here. We'll begin with the guy we have on the cover sheet here of Teddy Bridgewater. Gets to play the Atlanta Falcons again. He threw up over 300 yards against Atlanta the last time they played. I really like his chances of doing the same thing again here on Thursday night. Now, I will say Atlanta's defense has been a little bit better over the past couple weeks. They've gotten a little healthier, and then losing Dan Quinn seems to have re-energized them, at least defensively. We're hoping for Matthew Stafford to have a much better game on Sunday than he did. But that being said, Teddy Bridgewater has been performing really well up to this point. Against the Saints, a better pass defense than the Falcons. He went 23 of 28 for 254 yards and 2 scores. So I definitely think this is a good matchup for him. Now, Baker Mayfield, maybe addition by subtraction is a thing here. After throwing the interception and Odell Beckham tearing his ACL being done for the season, Baker Mayfield turned that performance around and went 22 of 28 for 297 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. Not expecting quite the same numbers here, but the Raiders have been giving up a lot of points through the air this year, and they've been scoring a lot too, so this could actually be a very high scoring game, which is the reason why we have Derek Carr as a streaming option here as well. If you don't want to take the risk with Baker Mayfield potentially throwing up multiple picks, Derek Carr went 24 of 36 for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, but that was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that the week before had shut down Aaron Rodgers. So Derek Carr having a good game against the Chiefs, a good game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, gets to face the Cleveland Browns, are much less imposing on defense. So I really like this game for fantasy on both sides. I think Derek Carr is a pretty solid stream this week. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, if you really want to throw a dart at the wall, Seattle has been giving up a ton of points through the air. Their defense is in shambles right now. They should be getting healthier as the season goes on, but as of this point right now, we're going to continue to exploit that defense. So Jimmy Garoppolo could have a pretty decent game. Deebo Samuel is out, so that's definitely one thing to note. In the one good game that Garoppolo has had up to this point, Deebo was healthy. That was 2 weeks ago. So we'll see what ends up happening this week. I kind of like all four of these guys here. Probably would prefer Teddy and then Baker, and then it's kind of a toss-up for me between Derek Carr and Garoppolo. Maybe I should like Derek Carr a little bit more. He has been pretty solid up to this point. And then guys to stash in 2 quarterback leagues. So you could even make the argument for Tua in a single quarterback league with coming in, taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Don't really know what to expect yet. He does play the Rams this week, so not exactly a good matchup for him. But that being said, we saw Ryan Fitzpatrick was the top 10 quarterback on average for pretty much the whole season, with the exception of one bad game for him there. So like Tua's potential a lot, we've seen with both Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert that rookie quarterbacks are pretty dominant up to this point. Let's see if Tua can join that and be the third rookie quarterback to be fantasy relevant in his first season here. Mitch Trubisky was probably more of a 2 quarterback league option. With the way Nick Foles has been playing, don't be surprised if they go back to him at some point, especially if the Bears start losing a couple of these games. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick, I have him on here. I don't think he's going to play again for the Dolphins, but the likelihood of him getting traded at this point, I would say, is pretty high, especially when you have teams like the Cowboys who are now onto their 3rd string quarterback. I would not be surprised at all within the next couple of days that we see a trade for Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Cowboys. I think that's kind of going to be dependent on whether or not Andy Dalton is going to be able to recover quickly from that nasty hit that he took on Sunday. It doesn't look like he's going to be ready to play in week 8. Now, that being said, with the COVID rules and the waiting time between a player coming into the locker room, even if they traded for Ryan Fitzpatrick today, he wouldn't be cleared in time to play this Sunday. So that would be my only hesitancy here, but we know that the Dolphins are already trying to wheel and deal with some people, Xavier Howard on the trading block, so don't be surprised if Fitzpatrick gets traded to a better situation. If you have him in a 2 quarterback league, hang on just until we get past the trade deadline and see what happens. And there's always the chance that Tua comes out and is terrible and he basically gets put back in there just like he did last year with Josh Rosen. We don't know at this point yet. So I would hang on in a 2-quarterback league. You probably already dropped him in a single quarterback league. I wouldn't pick him back up in that situation, but in 2-quarterback or super flex leagues, should still keep a lookout for Ryan Fitzpatrick and stash him on your bench if you can.